Hey everyone, this is Miss Time Bunny, and today I am doing the tag video because I can. And this is the Goth Snob Tag. It's just one I've been wanting to do for a little while, so I thought, right, actually going to sit down and do it because at the time of recording, coronavirus things going on. We're in lockdown. I can't go to work because hospitality is not a priority, so I'm just trying to get lots of content done at the moment, so excuse me if you go through my channel in the next few months and you just see me dressed in the same stuff from previous videos, because I'm a lazy twat, so I'm just bulk recording, I admit it. Oh, what is going on with my bandana and my hair today? Oh, there we go. Right, so this is the Goth Snob Tag, and I did get the idea to do this from another YouTuber, and I cannot think of her name now. I'm having a moment. Let's see if I can find her so I can give her a quick shout out. No, that's the wrong person. That was a clip on Ready to Glare. This is when I won't be able to find her now, isn't it? Or did I save the image to my Dropbox? I can't remember now. But I know it was a fellow alternative sort of like YouTuber. Yeah, I think she might be on my Dropbox. I can't remember. I think it was something like Backbones, I think her name is, if I do remember right. If I can find her name, I will link her in the description, because it's like I'm having a fart and I can't find the original image now, just to remind myself. But anyway, I'm digressing, and I will actually get on because I'm talking crap. Right. First question: what are your views on goth brands and their affordability? See, I'm a bit sort of like on the fence about this. It's like, you know, some of them you can get stuff quite sort of like inexpensive. You know, especially if you're lucky in that maybe you go in somewhere that sells that kind of stuff and they're maybe having a sale. Or if you're lucky enough and it turns up in like a charity shop, you know, you can get it quite cheap. But I think generally, you know, a lot of them can be quite pricey, especially if you're like maybe like myself, like you don't necessarily earn huge amounts of money, so therefore don't have the disposable income. You know, it can be quite expensive, and to be fair, for the price, you know, you might be paying say like £50, £60 on a dress and it's not necessarily that well made, if that makes sense. I mean, some of it, like for example with New Rocks, with their boots and their shoes and that, yes, you might be paying a couple of £100 for them, but they do like last forever. You know, they're that well made. It's like, I always joke that like when the nuclear apocalypse happens, it's going to be like cockroaches, Nokia phones and New Rock boots that are going to survive, you know. You know, it's just like, yeah, probably there's going to be people who be like, what are you on about Nokia phones? But it's just like, back in the day, like the old fashioned Nokia phones, like the little ones, you know, it's just like, I've known people that have had those like old fashioned phones for years and years and years and they still work, so because I think they were just that well made, and if you look after them, they just like work for fucking years, you know. So yeah, that's become my little joke now, that that's going to be the three things that survive. So, but yeah, I think it's like some of them can be very expensive for what they are, especially if they're like not particularly well made. So, right, next question: is buying goth selling out? I personally think no, because at the end of the day, it's up to the person if they sort of like want to sort of like buy off the rack clothes that are already made, if that makes sense, you know. If that's what they want to do, you know, it's their money. If they'd rather go like, oh, I'd rather just go to the store or go online and buy XYZ rather than DIY stuff, it's like, that's up to them, you know. Some people like to just like buy ready-made. Some people like to buy, say, like bits from the charity shop or whatever, or thrift store, and then DIY it. It's like, you know, both are perfectly valid. It's like up to you. You know, some people might have the money, but they might not necessarily be that handy with like a sewing machine or whatever, so they might just prefer to buy it. Or they might not necessarily have the like time because they might have like a job or family or whatever. So No, I think if people want to buy, sort of like just want to buy the stuff, it's not selling out. It's completely up to them. I mean, I've bought plenty of stuff that might be considered goth or whatever in the past. Next question: does DIY make you more goth? Again, I would say no, not necessarily, because it's like, you know, sort of, yeah. I mean, if you're into doing DIY stuff and or you've got the sort of like the time, inclination, etc., then, you know, yeah, it's like good to go and DIY stuff. Especially like I said, if you go to sort of like charity shops, jumble sales, things like that, you can pick up stuff dirt cheap, and then you can obviously customise it up to how you want it to look. So, and a lot of the time that can work out like tons cheaper than actually sort of like buying it ready made off the rail or from a website. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily make you more or less goth than everybody else just because you did it a certain way. So I'd say basically like, no, it doesn't necessarily make you better than everyone else, so shush. Right. Next question. What music should you listen to be goth? Well, I'd say there's probably is like your stereotypical goth music, like goth bands, etc., that you could listen to. Like, for example, Susie and the Banshees, like just as an example, you know, people like that. Or like your sort of like your rock or your whatever music that you class as like sort of being goth, you know. But at the same time, it's not like the be all and end all. I mean, it's like for myself, you know, I'd probably be classed under the umbrella term of like an elder goth. Well, I kind of call myself an elder casual goth, you know, in that I'll wear like band t-shirts like this one, my obsessive compulsive t-shirt, and then like black jeans, and obviously I've got my little black bandana and I've got piercings and that. But it's like, so I might look like kind of like an elder casual goth, but at the same time I don't listen exclusively just to sort of like goth music. You know, I listen to like all range of stuff, you know, right from say like, you know, heavy stuff like, you know, like Lordi and people like that, right through to sort of bands like Queen, you know. So I'm like, it's not, again, I think it's not a be all and end all. People have this very sort of narrow minded view of like, oh, you have to listen to certain types of music and nothing else, otherwise you're like not goth enough, you know. But it's like, oh, just listen to whatever you bloody want. Sort of behave, you know. Right, next question. What is the minimum requirement to be goth? Well, I know some people might say like, oh, minimum requirements like you have to wear all black or you like have to have your hair a certain colour, things like that. And I suppose up to a point I kind of agree, but not completely, if that makes sense. You know, I think at the end of the day it's like, you know, sort of do your own thing, if that makes sense. You know, don't feel like, oh, you think to yourself, oh, because I'm not dressing in a certain way or doing certain things, I'm not goth enough. Because for me it's more of a, goth is more about self-expression and doing your own thing, you know. There's like, I think a video that the Kilted Goth did some time ago when he said about it's not necessarily how you look on the outside, it's more of a like how you feel on the inside, you know. If I can find the video, I will probably try and link it to this one so you can go back and like listen to his comments yourself. Or if you want to go and like nose on his channel, then by all means, because you go and have a like nose for yourself. But I know that I think there's like, he did make a comment about saying about, you know, it's an internal thing. It's not necessarily the outside stuff, if that makes sense. Right, next question. Should you maintain the goth aesthetic to be considered a true goth? In a word, no. I personally don't think so, because it's like I said, I tend to dress more sort of what they call casual goth a lot of the time, like with the sort of like, with sort of like black jeans, band t-shirts, like dark coloured band t-shirts, hoodies, things like that a majority of the time. But that's more, I think that's more because that's how I'm more comfortable dressing like that. It's kind of like, you know, I'm giving that little bit of a hint of being like alternative. But, you know, I'm not being all like, ooh, look at me at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't feel the need to be all like flashy. I mean, there's people on, say, like YouTube, for example, like Black Friday who looks absolutely bloody brilliant. If I had the time, money and patience to live 24/7 goth like she does, like with the sort of like the house all done in black with all the sort of like skulls and various other furniture and that, and having like the long dresses and the big hair and makeup, like, you know, I would, but I know what I'm like. It's like I'm quite lazy, in all honesty. You know, sort of like I'm the type of person who'd probably do the house up kind of like gothy, but I think dressing myself like constantly 24/7 goth with like the big hair and makeup and dresses, it's like I admit I am a lazy bitch. I probably couldn't be asked to do it like constantly. Whereas like the sort of jeans and the band t-shirts that I'm quite happy to do, because it's like I've always kind of dressed like that anyway, and I feel more comfortable. But I just think, you don't have to be 24/7 dressing in a certain way. You can just have a day off now and again. It's okay. Right, next question. Are the big name YouTubers selling out, cashing in when they receive hauls from companies? No, because at the end of the day, if they're getting sponsored deals and they're getting paid to review stuff, that's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day they still got to pay their rent, pay their bills, buy food, keep the car running if they have to, stuff like that. So it's like, no, I don't think they are. That is like basically their job. If they're getting paid to review stuff and receive, sort of free clothes or whatever, then that's just part of their job. So it's fine. Right, next question. The big name YouTubers live their lives in public. Should they expect privacy in their private lives? Yes, I think so, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, they may live their like a side of their life online, but they should still be allowed to have time away from that camera and have that privacy. There's probably only so much that like they want to share or show on camera. And I think if they want to have stuff like away from the camera that people don't get to find out about, they're allowed to have that privacy. There's kind of like that fine line, if that makes sense. So yes, it's like, be respectful. Don't make mummy bunny come over there and give you a slap. Right, so what's your views on goths wearing different symbols alive with different religions? I mean, I personally, it's one of those things that's never bothered me. I'm kind of like each to their own. I think it's more, if they understand the context behind the symbol and stuff like that, that's fine. I'm just, it's just, I don't know, it's just something that's never bothered me. I'm like each to their own. If they want to wear that, that's up to them. Last question. How do you feel about the negativity, bullying and elitism in the community? Just don't do it, because it's not big, it's not clever, and you're just making yourself look silly. Just let people do goth however they want to. Just stop it. Shh. Just shh. Stop it with your elitism and your silliness. Or stick your head down the toilet. But yeah, that's my views. You're welcome to disagree. It's fine. But yeah, it's just my silly opinions. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to do for a long time, and I finally recorded it. Yes. Now I think the sort of like the lockdown and coronavirus is actually making me record stuff, so it's great. So, but on that note, I'm going to end here, and I'll see you all later.